Hey guys, it's Mr. Emond. I'm just doing a quick video here, hopefully only a few minutes long, showing you how we're going to be doing our quizzes on Schoology. So once you log into Schoology, you'll see there's only one outcome here. I've erased everything, well not erased it, but hidden it from view. I will make them appear one at a time as we move through the course. So you'll see something new. There's a must complete gray check mark here. That means that I did not complete this outcome yet. It will turn green when I have. So for example, there's two things here that I've done. I have watched lesson 1. It was a YouTube video. We also did a live stream. And I have made a submission of the first homework, right? So I've made an assignment submission, and it's been graded by my wonderful teacher. Lesson 2 I haven't done yet. I need to view this item. So I go in here and I watch lesson 2 because I missed the live stream. So thank goodness my teacher's posting the videos. And I just watched the whole thing. Great. I come back into the folder and you see now it's a green check mark. Here, this one I haven't done, lesson 2 homework. I'm going to click it. I'm going to, I did this. On page 195, I did questions 6 and 7 that correspond to the lesson. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to upload a picture of my homework. So I'm going to take a picture with my phone of my homework. I'm going to create an image in my phone and I'm going to find it. There's the homework, and I'm going to upload this and submit it. And there I have submitted my homework. And Mr. Emond later on can go and click it and see, oh great, there's this kiddo's homework. It doesn't really look like a math problem. That's strange. He's just uploading random files. That's not good. Okay. So that's all you're doing. You're just doing your homework by hand, submitting it. As you work through, the check marks will turn green. Fantastic. Here's what you need to get to before tomorrow is the Outcome 5A quiz, which I have here. Must score at least 70. 70 is like the proficiency, right? That's your level 3. So that's what we're shooting for here. And you'll be able to redo this. I mean, not this one, right? But I have 2 other reassessments done, which if you need to do them, I'll make the reassessments visible to you, specifically, not everybody, and you can work on them, right? I think I have 4 different reassessments for people. So let's look at this practice quiz that I put on here that I'd like you to try to work through before we take the quiz, so before 10 a.m. tomorrow, and how the quiz is going to look. So here we go. I've already started it, right? So actually, I'll just start a new attempt because you can complete this as many times as you want, this practice quiz, just to make sure you have the skill. I am going to do these in 2 different ways for you. So the first way is using the Schoology integration, which is kind of nice if you can get it. I mean, just practice, right? Let's express the following entire radical as a mixed radical in simplest form. Okay, so I have 108 here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split up 108, and you can look in the calculator there because I failed on the previous video. I said something crazy by accident, and so I already kind of tried this out, and it's 4 times 9 times 3 is 108. So here is your insert math formula. You have your operators, right? Most of these, you don't even know what they do. This is advanced stuff, right? They do have meaning. But you do know, plus or minus here. These are multiply signs, equal, plus, minus, multiply, divide. Many of these you do know, right? But we don't really need to use these. Here's your relationships. So greater than or equals, less than or equals. And then most of these you don't know again, and we're not going to worry too much about them. Equations is the one we're going to be in exclusively for this unit, right? And there's other things, arrows, miscellaneous things like infinity, or in statistics, you could use like, suits of clubs, things like what's the probability that you would get a club out of a deck of cards? Well, that's 16 out of 52, right? So like there's a bunch of things, uses here, your alphabet in Greek, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, etc. We're going to be using equations. Okay, so we have root 108. If you click equations, here's your fraction. Okay, So when you're doing problems that have a fraction, you click this button and there's your numerator and your denominator, right? So you could do 4 cube root. So you see I hit this with the index and the radicand there, and I could do cube root of 7, right? Here are some other things you might want to use. Let's say I want x to the power of 5. You'd use this because this is the exponent button, right? Creates this little box up here. There's your power of 5. What does this do? This is a subscript. This would be like chemistry, right? If I wanted to type in CO2, I would type in CO and then 2, but I want this, so I highlight it and make it a subscript, okay? Here's not parentheses, but brackets, sum, right? Remember in math and foundations, we had the sum of all terms. There you go, the sum of all terms. So this, it has a ton of functionality, right? Let's actually answer this question now. We want the square root of 108. Well, I'm just going to do a square root. And then here I'm going to do 4 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 3, which is me breaking down 108. So this is my step 1. My step 2, I'm going to go back into equation. And my step 2 would be the square root of, and here I'm going to do 2 squared multiplied by, it was 3 squared multiplied by 3. So you can see here I changed 108 into 4 times 9 times 3, and then I changed the 4 into 2 squared and the 9 into 3 squared, leaving this the way it is, and that's because I can pull these out, right? So now the next step is to simplify it one more time. I hit the equation button, and now it's 2 multiplied by 3 root 3. There we go. There's my next step, pulling these out. So 2 and 3 get removed, 2 times 3, root 3 is still there. And then last step, I go back into equation, 2 times 3 is 6, and the root 3 is still there. There we go. Okay, so that's one way to solve it. That way, you know, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get used to, but it requires a little less steps because you're doing it all in Schoology. The next way, which some of you might prefer, is to do it by hand. Okay, so let's say I'm doing this, 5x root 7, and I'm trying to go the other direction. It's not going to let me. Okay, let's just take our pen here. And now you don't have this on your computer. You're doing this with pen and paper. Okay, I've already forget what it was. Let's pretend it's 5x root 9, or let's make it something else, root 19. I don't remember what it actually was. That doesn't matter. I'm going to put this in. So I'm going to have brackets 5x squared times 19. I'm going to use a calculator here because for some reason I can't do 5 times 19 in my head. I got to work on that, my multiplication table. That's 95. Okay, so here I have root 95 x squared. There we go. Shame on me for not being able to do that in my head. And I'm done. Because all my questions telling me to do is make it an entire radical, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my phone, I'm going to take a picture of my piece of paper. There we go. I took a picture of it. In this case, it happens to be a screenshot, right? Where's my paint? There we go. There's my piece of paper. I'm going to, well, your phone saves it automatically. You just need to figure out what folder it's saving to. This is why it's going to, you got to prepare this ahead of time, right? Let's call this pick 1. Okay. And you're going to have to find out where your phone's saving your pictures. That's it. That's why this might be a little difficult for some of you if you're not good with phones. Once you figure out where your phone saves your pictures, you know, you have the app on your phone, right? So you could be on Schoology on your phone, and then all you're doing is you're going through the questions, look at the question, do it by hand. When you're ready to do the answer, you know, click this image media button on your phone, go attach file, find it, right? So mine's a little easier because it's a computer and it's on my desktop. And what did I save it as? Pick one. Where's pick one? Here's pick one. Okay. And I upload it. And it's done. It's almost done. It's done. There we go. There's my picture. Okay. And I go to the next question. So there you go. 2 methods to do this. I don't care which one you do, whichever one's simpler for you. Practice though. Do the practice quiz, please. Whatever method you're doing, maybe try both. See which one's preferable. And I'll see you guys in the morning ready to take the real quiz. Bye.